Hello, creative, and welcome back to the Empowered Creatives Podcast, finding confidence between hustle and burnout. I'm your host, Victoria Hines, creative career coach, helping creatives just like you navigate those twists and turns in your creative career. I'm super excited about my guest on the show this week, Sandra Vallette. She was born and raised in Amos, Abitibi. You might have to fix up that one for me. Oh, great. A remote region of Quebec, Canada, known for its expansive forests and lakes. At a very early age, she developed her patience and observation skills during long fishing trips with her grandfather. Those qualities are readily apparent in her artwork today. Sandra worked most of her adult life as a makeup artist for television before moving to the countryside several years ago. And shortly thereafter, she found a small piece of wood that looked like a fir tree. It was the trigger that eventually led to the sculptures that she creates today. And boy, oh boy, they're incredible. They are her way of highlighting the beauty that is all around us, but that goes so often unnoticed. Thanks so much for being on the show today, Sandra.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right, so let's kick it off with the first question. What do artists and creatives need to know is possible today?
Internet. All the connection that you can make with, I think you have to follow, for me, I believe that you have to follow everything in life that is going to show you where to go. And now it's internet, and maybe another time is going to be something that we don't even know. I know about intelligent artificial is going to be interesting, and you have to follow that. If you don't, I think you're dead.
I mean, going back to the internet concept, though, I think you bring up a really good point of, I read a lot of Seth Godin books, and he talks about how internet is where we find community now. Like, community isn't always based in your hometown. Like, you go back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, your village was all you knew. That was it. And now we have this beautiful thing where we connect with anybody in the world. Like, I'm talking to you in Canada while I'm here in Portland, Oregon right now. But that was not always the case. And so regardless of like internet and all the things they come out with, it's kind of our way to connect with other people.
Yes. Me, for a long time now, I call that village planet. It's like a village. You can talk with somebody in Morocco and in Paris and in London, like if you are. My son right now is in France, and I know an application now. It's called Nala Art, and Nala Art is with intelligent artificial (RG), and they mix. They mix people who like your work, the gallery who like your work, and they try to make that match, and it's the intelligent artificial do that. And of course, when I saw that, I said, okay, yes, I'm going inside of that for sure.
You said it's called Nola Art?
Nala, Nala.
Nala Art. Yeah. So they're basically using AI to pair you with galleries. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Galleries and buyers, people who like the kind of art you do, and they just analyze that and they bring people together.
That's absolutely brilliant. I know so many people who are like,
yes.
I know so many people who
when I saw that, I said to my husband, I have to do that, and I did it. I think I was in the beginning of that.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I know so many people who are terrified of AI. Like, it is going to change the world that we live in, but that's a perfect example of, I mean, no human being wants to sit there, read through 300 applications and then figure out, like, it can be fun, but it's also a lot of time. And so I don't know, like, there is kind of a beauty in like seeing how AI can like pull people together based on things they know about each other. That's really cool.
If you like pop art, probably you're not going to connect with me if you just focus like pop art, because I'm not pop art at all.
No.
And when you know that, and you know it's, but each time there's something new, people are afraid. all the times. It's normal, but you have to pass that because
Mm-hmm.
this is it. We are in it, and you have to accept it, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's modern. It's always good. And when you're getting older, sometimes it's scary, and but it's sad when people
Yeah.
just bring themselves in this scared things.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Would you agree though? I feel like something with new technology I've began to understand though is like I think there's an importance to understanding, learning about it, and then deciding if you want to adopt it into your business. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with you. But if you decide to not do it, I think you close the door.
Yeah.
And I think you need to have open door everywhere. I read an article a long time ago, and it was not with all those technology, and they say people in art, but I think in other way to music and comedian and everybody. If you're not there and you don't put your name over there, they're not going to know about you. More you are active with technology and everything, any connection that you can do, that your name is go around. Now my name is in Portland, my name is in Paris, my name is in Montreal. One day it's going to happen something. But if
Mm-hmm.
you stay at your home and close your door, nobody, like you just told the village at the time, people has to travel with boat and go somewhere else. But now it's so easy. But there's a but. Sometimes it's like you are a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
And this is the hard part. This is the hard part. How to do it that people see you.
Mm-hmm. And remember that you still matter because I know it can feel overwhelming. And I've talked to artists who are like, I post on Instagram, a certain number of times a week, and I feel like it doesn't get me anywhere, or do this or I do that. And they don't see the movement. And it is hard. It's hard and it can feel really lonely, but you're dead on correct of something I learned in the career world. And I think this is something that applies in like if you're a lawyer or a real estate agent or if you're an artist, is your success in your career is almost based on the number of conversations you have. And if you're not getting the jobs you want, the advice is usually like you should be having more conversations with people. Not necessarily asking for a job, but like just meeting more people and networking, which is such a crazy word. But I think it's the same for artists. And
Yes,
you brought up that point.
completely. But I learned another thing because of my other work that I did for all my life as a makeup artist. Sometimes when I have artists on my chair, like singer or actor or whatever, I always do like a meeting, and I'm curious by nature, very curious by nature, and and I always ask, oh, what inspired you for that song, and is there a connection with so and so? And for all people, if you don't feel your connection, and it's weird, I know it's for some person it's like, oh, it's Twilight. It's not Twilight. You have to not judge yourself and be connect with, I don't know what, but you have to be connect, centered, and connect and open. And I think I'm not going to say it enough. Open, open, open.
Open to whatever comes your way.
Like, sometimes I do my art, and I need a new product. I need something new, material, not product, but material. And I swear to you, I walked my dog one day and I said, I need something new to work with. Give me something. I don't know to who I said, give me something, but I said to the universe, give me something. And I swear to you, there's a big wind coming in, and I got a nest of wasps, you said? Not bee, but wasps.
Wasp.
A nest. Well, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a nest on my feet. I took the nest and I said, okay, yes, I'm going to do something with it. And I said, thank you. I don't know to who I said thank you, but something answered me. And I believe, because I talk with a lot of artists, that you have to ask, and usually you got an answer.
But what you had mentioned too, like if you were open to receive it, it would have been so easy to not have seen that wasp's nest that blew to your feet. Am I wrong?
Yeah, exactly. You're right. You're right. I saw a dead rabbit. It was very sad because somebody put the rabbit on winter outside, and I tried to catch him, but I can't. And he died. And I spot where he was died. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do something when the nature clean it, because I always wait that nature clean the skull or the vertebra. And I took some little piece, I did things with it. And finally, I cannot find the rabbit anymore. I don't know if another creature ate it. And last week, a friend of my daughter came to my place and she bring me a box with 2 skulls of rabbit. Uh-huh. This is life. And you have to just say, okay, nice, thank you. It's exactly what I want. And I don't know. And if you are open to that, it's going to be amazed how everything goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, creative. I'm going to take a quick moment to give a shout out to Artera, who supported the creation of this episode. Artera is redefining the future of art galleries, where art, storytelling, and innovation collide. If you hop on over to their site, they are not only showcasing incredible artists, including the artist who is my guest today on the pod, but Artera is also a community nurturing both established and growing artists alike. If you are a visual artist, sculptor, or maker looking for a supportive and tech-savvy community, check out Artera. If you are an interior designer looking to fill your designs, your homes with curated art, check out Artera. And if you are an art lover who enjoys learning the story of an artist before you buy, you should definitely check out Artera. Alrighty, let's dive back into the show. For anybody listening to this episode, if you don't know Sandra, she creates these beautiful sculptures out of pieces from nature. So if you're hearing us talking about skulls, rest assured, I'll add some links in the show notes to her artwork. It's absolutely incredible. But Sandra, I want to really quick jump back. You mentioned that you were a makeup artist, sort of in your first life. What's your artistic journey been like? Like, how did you get into makeup artistry, and then how did you find yourself making sculptures?
Oh my God. I've since I was very young, I always been in fashion, because I took a course to do design of fashion, and my mother was a makeup artist. I have all that stuff at my place, and at night, because I was a lot alone by myself, because she was always out and I was always alone. I'm an only child and I didn't know anybody at that time. And I was doing my makeup like Alice Cooper. Maybe you're too young to know Alice Cooper. I don't know. Alice Cooper and Kiss. And I was fast and good. And I said, oh my God, I love that. And one day my mother, she has a contract with, it's very funny. Jus d'orange de la Floride. It's orange juice from Florida. It was a publicity, and she didn't have a regular assistant. And I said, I can do it. Said, you sure you can do it? Because she never taught me how to do makeup. And I said, yes, I can. And she hired me, and I did this big commercial with her. It was very, very nice. And another day there was another commercial that she cannot do it, and I said I can do it by myself, and she said I don't think so. And some persons sometimes they are willing to give you a chance, and that réalisateur, I don't know how you say that, the producer said, okay, I'm going to give her a chance. And I did that commercial, and everything just goes on
Grew
this
from
way.
there. Absolutely.
Yeah. And one day I was doing a big documentary with some guy, and they say, oh, come to TVA. It's a television station, a French television station. It's a big one. Make application over here. We need people. I said, I'm not sure. I did it, and was my career was there.
That's awesome.
My makeup career.
How long were you in the makeup industry?
35, 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for almost 40 years, 35
Okay.
years. Good 35 years. Yeah.
That's amazing. And then, okay, so you went from makeup artistry. How did you segue into doing the sculptures you're doing today?
Life pushed me in certain way. I always believe that you have to follow. Sometimes life just gives you some hint, and if you don't answer to that hint, life's going to give you another hint sometimes. And for me, I had 3 hints to do it, because it starts with magnet. I find a piece of wood, and I was wondering how I can show people how this wood is beautiful, because that wood has 3 colors: nature color, like a beige and a green and a brown. And I want to show that to people, but it was not very, very small, but not too big. And finally, I put a magnet on it, and I said, okay, I have to frame that and show people. And you can change your magnet if you want another magnet, because when I realized that I can do magnet with nature, I did a lot of magnet with nature. And there was a gallery in Quebec that is called Quebec Art. And the owner, France Marcotte, she just saw my magnet and said, I want that. I never saw something like that before. And she gave me a big opportunity, chance, and everything was rolling. And the magnet changed to sculpture one day when I start to work with a skull. I have a little skull. I want to take just a little piece of that skull, and when I move in, I move that skull. Sorry, my
You're
God,
good.
I have a problem to say skull. To put that skull in a certain way, I saw a woman. I saw a woman body, and everything goes, everything's changed when I saw that woman in that skull.
Yeah.
And finally, with roots, I saw a fairy and a lot of things.
How many years ago was that when you sort of made that
Oh,
realization? How long ago was that when you?
okay. 7 years ago, the magnet arrived, and I think 2 years after that, the sculpture arrives.
You saw the sculptures.
Yeah.
Wow. When you transitioned into this new sort of phase of your artwork, like you came from makeup artistry where you were working with other people, working for television networks, kind of had I'm assuming like a set job and like different clients that you worked with. And then you sort of transitioned into a business where it's almost starting from fresh. It's a new medium, it's a new business model.
You need people eyes at the beginning a lot, because you're not sure what you do. Even if it's your painting, and you need other people to see. And when I bring my magnet at TVA at night, I told just 2 or 3 people, oh, look, I do that. What do you think about it? And one of the person was an anchor who do photograph too, and she's a well-known anchor in Montreal. And she said, oh, Sandra, it's amazing. I'm gonna do your picture for your website. And she did my first picture of magnet for my website. And some French journalists just check on the web, said, nobody do what you do. And people said, oh, it's poesy, it's wonderful. The joys that I receive when I look at them, and some said, oh, when I won one. And that start this way, and those gallery will give me, and there was a gallery in Paris too, Orlando, who give me a big help too, because it didn't saw something like I do too, and I think, but I know, just I think, but I know because of my work of makeup and some course, and I took like senior, and because I took a lot of courses to know a lot of things, because like I told you, I'm very curious by nature. And one of the teachers said, they cannot be too Celine Dion. They cannot be too Adele. They cannot be too Picasso. You have to have your own way and your unique way. And this way, people are going to recognize you. And I'm lucky that nature and life give me that unique thing. And I know it's inside of me too. I know, but there's something bigger than that. I'm very lucky that I received that gift, because it's a gift when you find your way.
What inside of you made you kind of just know that this was going to be something, or something bigger than you, almost, is what it sounds like, creating these sculptures?
Uh, it's when I start to understand the emotion of what I'm doing. I know that I took a piece of wood and I saw the movement, and I focus on the movement, but I focus to put some element that don't goes together sometimes. And those material that I used was alive. And I believe, because I saw people so getting so emotional when they saw my sculpture, or when they buy my sculpture, it's so touching to see some people have water in their eyes, and they say, you don't know how much you touch me. And for me, it's bigger than me, because I don't really know how I do that. But I heard and heard and heard a lot. And when you do an exhibition, you leave a book that people write notes inside. You cannot imagine those kind of. I cry when I read that. And it's not people who buy. It's just people sometimes who just see, and they just are very emotional. And I said, okay, thank you. Thank you to everything. I don't know what exactly, but thank you.
What are some of the things that people have told you about your work? Like, what are some of the comments, or like the feedback you've received?
Yeah, a lot of comments come with sensibility, creativity, how creative I am, and how touching and poetry it is. And it's a lot of, I love your heart. I love your vision of nature. I'm not going to see nature anymore in the same way. I'm amazed by your work. Uh, the way that you put the movement, and you let us see little detail that usually we can see, or we don't pay attention to. A lot of things like that. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Did you say that you put all of these comments in a place so that you can look at them? Is that
Yeah,
yeah?
sometimes, but because sometimes you said, okay, you have down. Everybody has down for sure. You just, okay, should I continue? Because you have good period where you have a lot of exhibition and everybody wants you, and suddenly, whoa, nobody wants you anymore. So, okay, what's happening? But I still sitting on Facebook, and people said, oh, I want you. I want a piece. Of course, I can. I've got those wonderful buyer, and it's wonderful. But sometimes you just put yourself and said, okay, I wonder. And I took sometimes the book, and I read, and I said, no, people wants to see what I do. Because sometimes in Facebook, people said, thank you for sharing. Thank you to let us see your work. And this is another kind of salary. It's salary
Mm.
for your soul. And
Yeah.
the salary for your soul, it's very, very, very important, more than the money. If you do it for money, good for you. But I think it's not worth it. I think it's not the right way to do it. You
Mm.
have to be yourself, and not just do it for yourself. It's not what I say, because I think you do it for the others too. You do
Mm.
it at the beginning a little bit for yourself, but even if when you're acting for the others, to
Mhm.
see the emotion, see the other character. It's not you. And sometimes people just I saw some people said to actor I was with, because we are outside to do a soap, said, "Oh, I ate you. Oh, I know it's not really you, but I ate you." Sometimes they have problem because the actor is very good,
Yeah.
but it's funny to see that. But you do it for other people, and in art, in visual art, you do it for other people for sure. You want to share an emotion, you want to share the vision that you have. And for me, it's the vision that I have of nature for a long, long, long time, and for detail. When I was little, I was always looking on insect and detail, and find that so wonderful. And you see, today I can translate it in a new way with my sculpture.
Hmm. I love that. So we've talked about, there's a lot of highs to being an artist, the connecting with other people, the sharing, the getting to have your art impact other people, like having that comment of like, I never see nature in the same way anymore. Like that's deeply, deeply powerful. And it's changing their life and you know it. Um, but there's also all the downs, and navigating life as an artist is really difficult. Sandra, what do you feel like are some of the missteps you've seen, either you've taken or you've seen other artists take in their careers, that you want people to avoid?
Um, yes, I think they say help you, and the sky is going to help you, and work hard and you're going to arrive. But I believe, because what I saw in my life and what I saw with my heart too, don't force too much. For me, it's three times. Sometimes I'm going to give you an example with my art, and you're going to see where I'm going with it. Sometimes I have like a piece, and there's a woman, and I want to put a special head on her to make her alive. And I put her head, and the head fall. I said, "Oh, stay there." And I put the head, and the head fall again. After two or three times, I said, "Okay, this is not the right head." And I changed the head and put another head. Oh, this is it. Now she wants that head. Because I said sometimes that my sculpture wants something. I know it's not true, but I like to talk with them. I said, okay, you want that head? We go ahead. When you knock at doors, it's okay to knock at some doors. But if you push too much, it's going to be the opposite is going to happen.
Mm.
It's not going to be the right thing. And you have to listen to that. That Yeah, you have to listen.
Mm.
You don't force. Yes, you have to try to work. You have to go on, but there's a limit, and you have to feel and know that limit. Because if you don't, you're going to burn yourself.
Mhm.
Really, people are going to hate you. People are, I don't want to talk to her anymore. And I saw it a lot, a lot, a lot when people push too much. Producer, everybody said, "Oh, not her again."
Yeah.
You have to really know when it's time to say, "Okay, I back up. I'm not going this way. I'm not going to take that track or that road. I'm going to take another road." I
Mhm.
don't say abandon, but take another road. It's not, life told you it's not the right road.
Mhm.
You have to listen to life, because life talk to you all the time.
Yeah.
People say God, people say universe, people. I don't mind which way you do, but everybody has that special connection, and you have to listen to it.
That higher voice or spirit or even inner voice that's telling you.
Exactly. You can call it the way you want, but it's the same thing for everybody. Everybody.
I have a really good friend of mine who says, desperation is not attractive. And I think that's sometimes what happens when we as artists keep pushing is we feel like we have to make this work. And this is the only door that we can knock on. It's the only door that's ever going to open. So we get a little desperate. And I mean, it's one of the easiest things I think to read from the other side is this is too much. Like this person's coming on us too strong. And yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We said in French, les yeux sont le miroir de l'âme. With your eyes show your soul. Your eyes show your soul. I don't know if you have the same expression in English.
I don't know that we do, but I like that.
But it's when I do makeup of somebody, I can see in her eyes if she wants too much, or if you can see, and sometimes you can say, okay, yeah, cool down, because it shows. And I remember, and it's awful, but it's so true, that there was a singer a long time ago, a young singer, and I said, if you continue with that kind of energy, you're not going to be well known, and you're not going anywhere. And she was just look at me and said, I never saw her again.
Yep.
Yep.
100%.
People see through you with your eyes.
I know something we talked about before this, or that you had mentioned, and I want to give you a little space to talk about. You also mentioned certificates of excellence and feeling like those were sort of maybe I don't want to say a...
Yeah, I have a big question with that.
A big question with that? Tell me more. So like what are certificates of excellence? Let me start there. I'm a little in the dark.
Okay, there's some contests on the web. A lot on Instagram and Facebook too. Art contests everywhere. UK, USA, everybody likes space, whatever. There's a lot of name and at the beginning when you start and said, oh my God, yes, I want to show my work and see if and you receive that nice certificate of excellence. You're excellent. I can show you so many honorary. How you see that mention?
Honorary mention. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I said, oh wow, I've got that. And finally, my husband is a physicist. He's very good with calculation and then all the things. And said, do you see how many certificates they give to the person? There's 2,000 person and they give 1,200 certificate. They need your money. Yeah.
And so you're paying
more and more
into the contest?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You pay. Yeah, exactly. You pay. But they say, oh, it's for the jury. But sometimes I saw some work that, it's not worth it. And it's okay, she's got a certificate. This is strange. I know I'm not talking about taste. I'm talking about the excellence of the way the people did their painting or did their sculpture, and say, okay, she's got the first prize. My God. It's very, 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 and they always ask money. For one, it's like $35 or $40 US. For us, it's more.
Right.
UK, it's awful, and you don't go anywhere with that. Okay, it's fun on Facebook to say, oh, I've got that certificate, but people who do art know that, okay, this is framed, this is not good, it's not worth it. There's some better than the other that you pay $150 to be a member.
Okay.
You pay $150 a year to be a member. Of course, they are going to give you a medal. They want you $150. And the certificate, you have to print it. They don't mail it to you. You have to print it. You just receive it on your mail.
Oh.
And and I don't believe in that anymore. I don't believe in that.
Yeah,
I believe in the one that you are in person and there's something happening over there, and or with a real jury, and you see the jury, but even though you have to pay, but if the amount is very, very low because they have to process, I can understand. But if you have to become a member and and oh my God, I said, I have a big, big doubt about that. A big doubt. It's a big industry.
Yeah. I mean, there's these type of, some of them are just plain scams. Some of them are people who saw a business model that they could work. And like, I do know they're putting a lot of time and energy into something. So they're trying to figure out how to, pay the people who are working for whatever the company is. And it's across the map, but everything we do, like, you have to do a little investigation into what's the return on investment. And art is not the only thing. I remember when I launched a business, I think at one point in time, I had a random company reach out to me about writing blog articles for them. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Okay. Like, I could, take some of my podcast ideas. I could turn that into blog articles, get it in front of a new audience. They wanted me to pay them to write blog articles for them to then put in front of their quote unquote audience. And I was like, no, like, this isn't going to do anything for me. And I'm just giving you content.
You know what? Exactly. And even in your field, in that field, check the in Gimlet followers that they have. Sometimes you say, my God, there's nobody following them. It's pretty amazing. Like the follower in Instagram, how many times they say, oh, we're going to show your work in my Instagram. Yeah, you have to pay. I said, yeah, you ask that for an artist. You ask an artist to pay you to have what? And the last one who asked me that yesterday, I said, the day that Instagram is going to make me rich, I'm going to give you money for sure.
Sure. Oh my goodness. All right. I do think our time is coming to a close. So my last question for you, Sandra, is what do artists and creatives need to know to feel more confident in their careers today?
Oh my God, this is a very good question. What do you need to be more confident? They need to be around people who believe in them. I think this is the key for everybody in any field. You need to have, like I told at the beginning, the eyes of others, because they can give you clue to. They say, when you do that things and stuff, okay, I'm not going to this way because people are good for that. Of course, don't judge yourself too hard. This is another thing very, very important. People are going to do it for you. Don't worry, people are going to do it for you.
So true. So true.
Yeah, get close to people who love what you do, who are real with what you do. Because sometimes people say, "Oh, you're good," but you can feel it's not true.
Sure.
Forget it. Forget those false people. False, fake.
The people who are blowing steam up your butt.
Yeah. Yeah. Just stick around and make a big smile to yourself. Each morning when I woke up, I said, "Oh, this is another day. Yes, cool. It's going to be a wonderful day." Even if sometimes it's not true, but you just give a start to yourself and say, "Hey, I'm going to create something beautiful today." And sometimes it don't work, but at least it's positive, At least it's positive.
All right, Sandra, how can we keep in touch with you and check out your artwork?
Maybe you have to spell my name, eh?
I will. I'll put all the links in the show notes.
Okay, because it's Sandra Vallette. Vellette.com, Sandra, VERLETTE.com. The same thing at Facebook, Instagram, Sandra Vallette Artist. And the minute you're going to see my sculpture, you're going to know that it's me. I believe so, because now I know I can be confident on this one. Now I know, because at the beginning I said, no. But no, now I know. Yeah, because when people, I just told you the little things. One day a person buy a sculpture and she put it on Facebook, and I saw somebody say, hey, it's look like a sculpture of Sandra Vallette. I said, yes, it's her. I said, okay, this is it. This is it.
I think it's true. I have never seen sculptures like yours, and they're absolutely what made me want to ask you to be on this podcast. So I'm super excited to get to share them with the world.
Thank you so much, Victoria. It was a pleasure to meet you. I hope we talk another day.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sandra.
You're welcome.
All right, creative, here's your one thing this week. What's one thing you are really needing in your artistic career? This could be materials like Sandra mentioned earlier. This could be a filming location that maybe you're missing. This could even be a new connection that you're needing in order to move your career to the next level. I want you to go ahead and think about what is that thing that you are deeply needing, and leave it to one. Next, I want you to put that ask out into the world. You can either do this by sharing this need with really trusted friends or even strangers at a grocery store if you strike up a conversation, or you can do what Sandra did and mention it out loud to the universe, God, life, whatever you want to call it. Just say it out loud. Last but not least, stay open this week to any answer that might come your way. Get curious about where the answer will come from and just see what happens. All right, thanks for joining me on the Empowered Creatives podcast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe if you are enjoying the show. It is the #1 free, easy way that you can show some appreciation and love for this podcast. It really does make a really big difference. And until the next time, stay creative.